Hello, my name is Hannah, and today we're building a modern farmhouse in Brindleton Bay. Now, this week you're going to be seeing like a lot of like off modern. That doesn't make very much sense, but like a lot of like modern mixed with another style. So this is a modern farmhouse, and then you're going to see some like modern industrial kind of stuff later this week. I don't really know why. I didn't really notice until I was trying to name all of these videos that they were all like kind of modern, kind of not. But that's fine because I built most of my things within like the same day because of a lot of things that you will hear about later in this video. But I built this on Monday and I was exhausted, but I really wanted to build. So I was gonna build something small, but I feel like every time I go to build something small, I end up building something huge. Which happened both for this video and the build that I did last night. So I built this huge thing, and I think it has like 4 bedrooms maybe, but it felt like it was so much bigger. But I really wanted to build something like a modern farmhouse thing. We're learning about styles and interior design, so I've been really like inspired to build stuff lately. And so I wanted to build this modern farmhouse because we were talking about this a lot the day that I built this. So I decided to do that. And also I was looking up reference photos because I wanted to build something modern-ish, but I didn't know really what. But then I was like, what about a modern farmhouse? And so I was looking up a bunch of reference photos. I was on Google for way too long, but that's okay. We all like to look at photos of pretty farmhouses for like 20 minutes, but that's fine. It was really good. Didn't find a reference photo like at all, but I just kind of decided to mix a bunch of this like pictures that I found and like put them all together into this build, and I really like it. I really like how it's like not the same on the bottom floor and the top floor, which is what I'm trying to do with my 2-story houses more recently, is because a lot of the houses that I used to build, I don't know how many of those you've seen, but a lot of my 2-story houses are like the exact same on the top and the bottom, just because that's like one very like normal for houses to look like that, and also because they're easy to build. You don't have to worry about like roofing or anything, but like this looks better to me, so I wanted to build something more like that. And I think it looks much better than some of the houses that are like exactly the same. And the roofing actually worked very well, which I wasn't expecting, and so that was really good because I was very much expecting it to be very difficult and to not work out because there were different shapes and like different, and as I said, they're not the same, so it was just gonna be weird. But it was actually a very easy house to build, especially because I was really exhausted, so it was easy for that, and that was good. But that's about it for the house, so I'm gonna move on. The first thing I'm gonna mention, I think my voice sounds really dumb right now. I haven't talked a lot in the last 2 days, in which you'll hear about that like in 12 seconds, but my voice sounds really horrible, but I really want to record voiceovers right now. But I've been having a lot of issues this week, and a couple of them have been influencing my voice. So if you can hear that, I'm very sorry, but I wanted to record voiceovers because they're like the highlight of my week, so you're gonna just have to deal with that. Very sorry about that one. But moving on to the cause of this, so this goes back to pre-ACT day. I think I may have mentioned that I was taking the pre-ACT this week. I may have not, but anyways, I was planning on taking the pre-ACT this week, if that gives any context to this. But on Thursday, I woke up with a horrible stomachache, which is great. But I woke up at like the normal time, and then the pre-ACT started basically at the same time school started, so that was pretty good. And I was all excited because I wanted to take the pre-ACT. I don't know really why, but I was very excited. I wanted to see what it was like, and I was very excited, just very excited. But I got there, and my stomachache got worse. But we had to stand in like a line, and I got there, I was the 9th person there. But I got there at like 7:15, 7:10, so around there, and they weren't planning on letting us in until 7:45, and so I was there very early, so I wasn't expecting to be like fully like let in. But we have like 2 sections of our entryway to like the main part of the school. It's like a smaller room that has like big glass doors into it, and then another glass doors into like a longer hallway that has access to the office and to like where you get your ID checked in the morning and all of that stuff. But when I got there, just the 9 of us, we had to stand in the smaller section because we weren't allowed into the bigger section. And we had to sit in that smaller section until there were probably at least 30 of us in there. And I'd say that that's probably the max that that room can fit. So it was a bit tight. And then the dude who was standing in there that was telling us not to go into there, because the doors weren't locked because they got in there somehow. And it's not like they're gonna like fully lock us out. But the dude left. And so the people just kind of like pushed in there because at that point when he left, there were people lining up outside too, so it was a lot. But we all got in there, and then we checked in. I checked in, and it was just a bunch of just lines for most of the morning. Well, not most of the morning, but most of the time before we went to our classrooms. But then we went to the commons area, which is just like a big hangout section section that just has like a hole in the middle where you can sit. It's really fun. This is my like second time in there, so that's pretty fun. It's like the middle of the school main hangout place, and I've been in there twice, but you know, that makes sense for me. But I sat in there for half an hour alone, and I had one person sit by me for a partial time, but he kind of left some part way through, and then I had another person, one of my other friends, but she left to go hang out with another one of like a group of friends. And so I was alone for most of that time. And then when we went to our actual classroom, I was feeling like worse than I had been all morning. And so I was really nervous that I was going to actually throw up. But I made it all of the way through like I don't know, like when you fill out information about yourself, if you've ever taken the pre-ACT or I'd imagine the actual ACT, just like the first packet where you have to like put in your name and your like address and all of that stuff. I filled in that stuff all fine. Well, I wasn't all fine, but I did it. I finished that. And so then my stomach was horrible, but I was kind of just putting it off because it's been like 2.5 hours since I woke up at that point. And so I was just being like, okay, I'm just gonna have a stomach ache the entire time. That's great, really fun right there. And so I was really not looking forward to it at this point because I was not gonna have fun taking the pre-ACT if I had a stomach ache the entire time. But turns out wasn't gonna have to have a stomach ache the entire time because I made it 15 questions into the English section, and I was like, I am actually going to throw up because it was so bad at that point, and I was raising my hand because I was like, at this point it is inevitable, so it is just gonna happen. So I raised my hand, but then she wasn't looking, and I was like, this is not gonna go well. So I stood up, which is what you're not supposed to do. But I was like, if I don't stand up, there's gonna be puke, and we're gonna have to evacuate the room. So I stood up. I was like, yeah, that it's better to stand up and break that rule instead of having to have everybody leave the classroom and have to like redo their testing sessions. So I got up and I was like, I am going to throw up, and then she like brought me out of the classroom. That was horribly embarrassing, but I'm just glad I didn't throw up in the classroom because that would have been worse. But I did get 4 steps out of the classroom before I did throw up, so I threw up right in front of the door. That was really nice. I really enjoyed that right there. But I threw up 3 times in the hallway, and so I'm not actually sure what caused me to throw up. I'm fairly positive it's my anxiety because I have had a busy and horrible week, not just with the ACT or the pre-ACT and all of that stuff, so not sure. However, we will see. But I was in the nurse's office for so long, which I probably will talk about like more in depth in a different video because it's almost the end of the video, but I'm going to talk briefly. But actually no, I'll talk about it in this video. But when I got to the nurse's office, I was in the nurse's office for almost an hour and a half because my parents weren't picking up, and then my mother came and got me, and she works like more than half an hour away from the school that I go to. So it took like a very long time for them to even acknowledge that I was in like the health office. So that was fun. They called 5 times to different people to try and get me out of like the health office. So that was really fun. But eventually that did, and so now I'm home, but it's also been 3 days since this has happened, but, you know, didn't go to school the rest of that day, didn't finish the pre-ACT, but that's really fun. But I am going to talk about this in a different video because I have more to talk about with this, but this video is almost done. So it is almost screenshots time. So I post a new video every day of the week. Subscribe if you did like today's video if you want to see more like this. But I do post 4 videos a week, so you can watch another video next time. Bye!